The D-Type's a pretty mundane sort of vehicle. It's capable of about 50 miles an hour. But there was a 6-cylinder version of that, which was known as the F-Type. The F-Type, with 1300 cc's, was a very, very nice motor car with a 4-speed gearbox and a beautiful touring car to drive. Unfortunately, the engine was untunable, and so no major development took place with that particular engine for a couple of years.
This is an F-Type MG built in 1932, and F-Types were built basically late 1931 and 1932 and even into 1933 a little bit. And the production numbers were roughly 1,250 F-Types in total built, and 631 were open 4-seaters, about 390 were salonette, little enclosed coupe type bodies, and there were about 180 sold in chassis form to various body builders such as Jarvis, Abbey, and Stiles. And then there were 40 or 41 open 2-seaters like this one built. These were all 6-cylinder Magnas. They were basically, the engines in these cars were basically the first 6-cylinders that MG produced. It was a Wolseley produced engine, and it was kind of just an M-type engine with 2 more cylinders hanging on it. It was 1,271 cc's. It was an AA head, meaning the exhaust and intake were both on the same side rather than the AB cross-flow head like the later cars had. So these didn't generate a lot of horsepower, although nowadays us F-Type owners know how to bump the horsepower up quite a bit with bigger valves, better breathing on both sides, and of course this one has a supercharger on the front, so that helps quite a bit also. The racing engines on the Triple M racing cars were painted this color blue, and the standard road-going cars were painted either green or red. This one is blue because it's got all the Go Fast goodies inside, like the Phoenix crank and rods, Benolia pistons, and so on. So it's a very robust engine, therefore we painted it the racing blue. The standard F2 body was simply a J2 body, and it was also used for the L2. The F2 had cycle wings like this, just like all the early J2s had. And it was a pretty attractive car. The fuel tank is identical to a J2. The spare tire carrier is the same as a J2. And even the dashboard is the same as a J2. Windscreen assembly, here again, J2. The main difference is bonnet length. This is about 8 or 9 inches longer here because the chassis is longer, because the engine's longer. So in effect you get a nice long bonnet look with the 6-cylinder J2 body tub cars. This is basically the standard J2 dashboard layout with a little octagonal instrument cluster here and deluxe gauges, horn button dip switch, and we have a rev counter in front of the driver on this car. And we've also added driver's helmet lamps. F-Types used the neat EMV gearbox with this real cool gated shifter out here right where it's very easy to reach. And it also has a reverse lockout. And we have mixture control and slow running control down here. Very similar to a J2 arrangement. Also, the Triple M cars in the day, most were duotones. In this case it would be 2 reds, although we did this car in a monocolor scheme, the solid red, Carmine red, and it has the dark red antiqued interior. The other color schemes that were available in the day were duo green, duo blue, and black, with either green or red or blue interior.
This is an F-type. This is an F3. According to the chassis number, is the last F produced. Normally, these F-type salonettes were hardtops, but this was ordered to be a convertible by a family in Montreal. The paint scheme is not original, but outside of that, and this horn is not original, but outside of that, it's quite original. You will notice that a lot of these cars in this collection have red brake drums. I was told by an elderly person once in England who told me the reason for the being red was that during a race, the pit crew could tell if the driver was heavy on the brakes, because they would turn brown. And this is what I've been doing to most of these cars. I just paint them red, heat-resistant red paint.
The car behind me on the left, the black and blue vehicle, I'll take it in colour, is an F1 Magna, 1932. The car was purchased in Hampshire some 8 or 10 years ago now. We've been rolling on the road with the car for the last 2 or 3 years, and the car was originally purchased more or less as a Christmas present. The Magna is a very nice. I purchased it initially for the family because I had a growing family. Unfortunately, the length of time for rebuilding, the family grew up. The smaller cars put you in tune with the environment much easily. They're quick, nimble, fairly active on the road, although by modern car standards they leave something to be desired, of course. You can't accelerate terrifically fast as the modern tin box will do, but we get along okay, and it's a comfortable journey. It gives you fresh air motoring, hopefully with the weather being fairly okay at the time. If it isn't, then you just stick a hood up or a hat on and press on.